The healthy news of an absolute sellout at Tannadice confirms at least one strand of opinion which believed, despite all the difficulties, that this city is best served by having two clubs rather than a merger. And undoubtedly, the atmosphere, and I think you can sample some of it now, of unbridled support for either team will add credibility to that notion. United, on the back of their defeated Motherwell, make 4 changes in the side. David Hanna drops to the bench. Al Joffrey injured. Carson and Jim Patterson are also out. Mark Wilson, Jamie Fullerton and Jim McIntyre join Charlie Miller, who never lost at Old Firm Derby, and they're back in his side. And Jim Hamilton remains the top goal scorer at Tannadice with 6 goals, and very significantly has scored twice against Dundee in the last 3 games. Dundee stopped some of the rot against Hibs last week, but might suffer through the absence of the talented but injured Kets Bayer today. But Vito Carranza returns, as does Juan Sara and Kiko Torres to the starting lineup, although Fabian Caballero returns to the bench. And here is the Chinese international Fan Ji, who managed to carry out victories for Dundee and scoring the winners in his last couple of games, thus keeping Dundee in the cup and making the Shanghai man nevertheless a local hero. Referee today, Willie Young. Off the go, and apart from anything else in the local rivalry, there's been a lot of politicking in Dundee recently, as Jim Hamilton almost picks that up. A lot of politicking, and the new board of Dundee United are watching this game avidly. This is the first time they've seen their new charges in action, and most appropriately against the great neighbours and rivals. Very neatly defended there by Stephen Wright, very close to him. Derek Lilly. Well, free kick goes again, saying a jersey was being pulled. It goes United's way. Well, this game has started in a fair state of agitation. I would imagine it'll stay like that. Although how they can keep this pace going for 90 minutes, I'll never know. I think there will be a drop in it eventually. Watched very carefully by Del Rio, and that, I think, will draw some response, as Walter Del Rio, I said he'd been in the thick of it, but I didn't think it would go that far. Right through the advertising hoarding. Now Lilly chased after it, and he gets a yellow card for it. There's another free kick. We've now had 6 free kicks in the first 6 minutes. It's a Dundee derby. That's a useful looking ball! Well, you could see Stephen Milne was right in behind there, but the man who got it first was the other Stephen Wright. Oh, he's scratching his head. No wonder, that was a great chance. Well, it was going to be a great chance, but a great interception. But it passed him. I think that ball would have been in the back of the net. Touched on, and must let fly at goal. Another corner kick. Well, the man who scored a couple of goals and victories with it in the last couple of games was up there again. He didn't get hold of it properly, but given his recent reputation, why was there no cover on him? These passes forward, and I know what I thought. I saw a shirt pulled, and so did the referee. I don't claim any particular credit for it, because I think they would have seen that in Broughty Ferry as well. Vito back there now. What can Charlie Miller do with this? Oh, just a gentle little touch is all that was required there. It goes in again. And nobody gives support coming from the left, even though Derek Lilly got up to that very well. Now watch, Lilly does get the little touch. As I said, nobody coming down the flank. G wants players to get forward. There's Romano. Good ball down the flanks. Beto is after it. Good defending now. They appreciated the danger and the pace of the man going down the right flank there. They have to lob this in now, looking for Sarah. It's a short of one. Milne did get a little screwed, curled ball on the ground there. Good ball played in there. And watch, I think certainly when Milne came forward, that ball swept in by Romano, had possibilities to it. Didn't get it cleanly enough though. Sarah. Beautiful run forward! Can he put it in? I think the flag is up. It's up. It was all a waste of time. Beautiful move in the counter-attack by Dundee, all the same, exploiting this young fella's pace. Watch the way that was played forward almost immediately. But when the pass was made, he was in an offside position. One of the best moves of the game thus far. Hamilton all in his zone to get that ball. That could be dangerous for this defence. Oh, Easton with the shot, brilliantly saved. It was a difficult ball to strike. Look at the way it bounces. He did get it in. Look at the deflection, and the goalkeeper, who kept his side by saving a penalty in the cup against Falkirk and played brilliantly once again, underlining the talent that they brought in goal to this club again. Charlie Miller, that's a decent shot, brilliantly saved again. And that's the most direct thrust in the game. He went on his own, he had no intentions of laying it off to anybody, decided to let rip at it. And you can see this very agile goalkeeper is up to these sorts of things, stretched out though he may have been. He was utterly confident in parrying it. Marquero, or rather weak with that final cross. Well now, the assistant official has said that he crossed the line with the ball in his hands. I wonder if we can tell from this. I don't know about that. Well, to be fair, that is not conclusive, but it would have been very close. Romano with it. Well, a goal coming on the back of that would have been controversial. Charlie Miller uncompromising. I think he might have been a little bit worried about conceding a corner kick when they did, but there we go. The half-time whistle goes, and I think undoubtedly the United, the better side, if only for that last 20 minutes or so when they pounded the Dundee defence, and clearly the start of the match so far, Julian Speroni, the Argentinian, in goal. And because of him, more than anything else, the score at half-time, Dundee United 0, Dundee 0. It may not have been the only factor, of course, I'm sure it's not, but I think it's more than a coincidence that the game began to dip for Dundee after Gavin Ray went off, and since then I think United really have had control of this game, and but for great goalkeeping might have been up, but always in the counter-attack like this, Dundee have looked promising, and they get an immediate corner, trying to utilise yet again the speed of Stephen Milne. The game has certainly had an edge to it, but that edge has been in midfield more than anything else. Sarah didn't even bother going for it, and brilliantly saved. Jim Hamilton gets in the way of that, almost took the head off him after that shot by Del Rio. Now this was heading for the net, no doubt about it. Well defended. Danger's there again, Sarah. And through it goes and just touched away. Well now, this time, Chico got to it. It almost took the tourist route to goal, but it didn't quite get there. Good start by Dundee. No doubt there were some hefty words spoken. Oops! He was right out of his goal and he realised, as this is picked up by Easton, that he was in trouble, but he got away with it. Good start to this half. Up goes Hamilton, claims for a push, and Easton, and he saves it again. Tremendous 2 minutes in the second 45 minutes. There could have been goals at either end. Two for Dundee, and now this one for United. He didn't really hit it with great venom, but it was an awkward one for the goalkeeper. Marvellous start to this half. That'll be no free kick. Referee says here's a good run by Hamilton. Now Lilly, and there's a shot. It's just over. A remarkable counter-attack there by United. The ball swept right across, and McIntyre raging in towards it. Let's fly at it. Just getting underneath, and that time I don't think Speroni would have seen it. Well, I certainly think they like the way the team have come out, rolled up their sleeves and got on with it. Caballero getting stern instruction from his boss. Caballero in his form is a very fine player, useful player anyway, to be bringing off the bench at this stage, which is 15 minutes into this half, and that just passed. Well, this is really tremendous. The ball played in there, just as we're talking about substitution, put in there, brilliantly headed away, and then superbly touched. I mean, as the ball is played in, it didn't, in the first instance, look as if Hamilton would get the header, but he does, and away he goes across goal like that. Superb stuff. So Milne comes off now, and the young Scotsman is replaced by a player who, as I said, if he's on form, will be one of the most dangerous attackers on this field. Goalkeeper gets that right away. Well, there was no offside, and that goes down. Just for a moment we paused there thinking the flag would go up. I think most people did. They thought it was in an offside position, but they way play on, and he got behind it again. This is some goalkeeper. It's a useful looking ball, and must be looked at. No! Miss of the match. For the first time in the game, he gets beyond the defence, goes in and goal. The goalkeeper totally exposed, and maybe the fact that he's been brilliant so far put Hamilton off, but it should have been in the back of the net. He may also have done a muscle in, it looks like hamstring. There's the run forward, there's a little clip at goal, it's going in, oh, that's a superb effort there by the goalkeeper, Paul Gallagher. The first thing he's had to do all afternoon of any effort, and he comes up trumps, and that's quality goalkeeping. If you've been idle so long and you're forced into getting it, look at the agonising curve and lob of the ball. He had to follow it, kept his eye on it, and then just gets it over. Still in danger for United. And putting it in, and just Gallagher again. That was a great effort, and Fanji, captain of the side, was up yet again with the opportunity to get a winner, but too direct to the goalkeeper. A little bit concerned about some of the antics in his goal mouth at the start of this half, but they got through it. They've had their opportunities themselves. They really should have been in front. I think he's contemplating bringing David Hanna on. Can he try to take that? There's a bit of a push, free kick. Wow. United. This is where they'll miss Hamilton in the penalty area, and Lilly. Nevertheless, they packed that Dundee penalty area. Charlie Miller. And that's a decent one, is it? McIntyre. Right at the death, he puts the ball in the back of the net. Well, I said they would miss the two big strikers who are excellent in the air. And maybe they thought themselves just a little bit safer for that. But as this ball curls in, and Charlie Miller, who's been the outstanding outfield player today, lands it neatly on the head of a player who came into such a crowd there. Anybody could have picked it up, either the defender or attacker. And United look as if they have won this match right in the last 60 seconds. He'll be absolutely delighted, but he knows it's a long time in football, is a couple of minutes, and I think there will be something like that of stoppage time. That snatched goal has put them in front, and it's agonising. I don't think they're aware in the crowd of how much stoppage time there should be. We've played, according to me, 5 minutes over. High testing ball going up there, but the final whistle has gone. United have made it. That dramatic winner by McIntyre. Only the one goal in it, coming in the last minute of proper time after so much exciting play in the second half in particular. Now, it really has been a day, though, belonging to goalkeepers. Julian Speroni, quite outstanding. I'm sure he's annoyed with himself that he had to concede that last goal there, but he was superb up till then. Tremendous saves. Easton was the first who tested him, then Charlie Miller, and then we had him in the second half, thwarting United just as well, although Hamilton really, in a one-to-one, should have scored. And then at the other end, tremendous save by Gallagher as he went off balance going back the way. And then Charlie Miller, the best outfield player in my view, swinging at a ball for McIntyre just to get the touch. As I said at the time, anybody touching that and the ball would have gone in the back of the net. So good was the cross. And the eventual score, Dundee United 1, Dundee 0.
We've got a tremendous game. We asked for a tremendous game and we got it. Unfortunately, we got the goal that won it. But there were two excellent teams, played a lot of good football, tremendous effort, and I'm pleased for the city actually.
So I can ask him more to my player, because 5 games in 12 days. Today they fight for every single ball. We have 3-4 chances. They have 3-4 chances. But I think both the goalkeeper they play really well today.
Well, when you get to that stage of the game at nearly each, you think maybe it's going to finish a draw, but there's always a chance of nipping a goal or even losing one at that stage, which can be a wee bit heartbreaking if you've played well, particularly as today, because their goalkeeper had some fantastic saves and looks to me to be a wonderful capture for them.
Yeah, we'll talk about Julian Speroni later. I was at that game and found it enthralling. Jim Laughlin, captain Dundee United. Obviously you enjoyed it, you ended up on the winning side, but it looked a good game to play in as well.
It was two teams totally committed. Both teams gave 100%, and we're just thankful that we come out with a win and the 3 points, and a great time to score. Scoring in 90 minutes.
And Jim Duffy, you've been involved in Dundee derbies in the past, both as a player, as a manager. It looked a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was an excellent game. I think all you can ask for players is to go and try and create chances. And as Archie McPherson says, the goalkeepers were in top form, or else it could have been a 4-4 game. But vastly entertaining match.
What we didn't show you in the highlights there was an incident which I referred to earlier in the programme. Missiles coming on from the Dundee supporters at this particular time. There's Paul Gallagher, the Dundee United goalkeeper, picking up a coin and putting it off the park. He's not putting it in his back pocket, he's actually putting it off the park. There were various pies and things thrown on as well, and referee Willie Young got involved. There's another coin landing at the feet of Paul Gallagher. You can quite clearly see that in the replay there. And Willie Young, there's not much really the referee can do, Jim Laughlin, but it's so dangerous.
Yeah, there's not a lot he could do. I think it was just the time that we scored. We scored so late on. and it was in front of obviously the Dundee supporters, and they're obviously bitterly disappointed at the time that we've scored. And but it's obviously it's no nice to see, Jim, things like that happening, and I don't know what you can do to stop it.
Well, I mean, we can confiscate bottles, but surely we can't confiscate coins.
You know, I think they must be paying too much money up in Dundee if the fans start to throw money onto the pitch. I think they're probably throwing pies at Willie Young, mind you, because Willie's putting on a little bit of weight recently. But you know, you're right. We mentioned earlier on with the Aberdeen Rangers match. It's not an isolated incident. It's been happening now for a few games. It seems to be, you know, something that fans want to do now, and we've really got to hammer it straight away before it gets any worse and before any player or any fans get badly injured.
Exactly. Well, Jim Loughlin, let's have a look at the goal which turned out to be the winning goal. Some controversy here because when this free kick is awarded by Willie Young, the Dundee players seem to think it's going to them.
That's right. To be honest, I wasn't aware of that at the time, Jim. You're just so caught up in the game. But it certainly looked as if Willie Young gave it the way of Dundee, and then I think the stand-side linesman getting involved gave it, you know, obviously to us. As you see there, it's a great ball in for Charlie, and it comes over the guy's head there, and Jim McIntyre finishes it tremendously well.
When you saw that for the first time, Jim Duffy, you said it was a great ball in, didn't you?
Yeah, a tremendous ball in, but I think somebody get the bugle out and get the cavalry up there, because Jim McIntyre was up, Jim Loughlin's up, Stephen Thompson's up. So I mean, Dundee United have went for it there in the last couple of minutes. They've put all the big guys up, but a tremendous ball from Charlie Miller. If you've been a little bit critical, maybe Dundee were defending a little bit too near the goal, but take nothing away from the quality of the ball, and a great header from Jim McIntyre. And
I noticed Jim Loughlin at the game. Shortly after that, Dundee had a free kick and they kept 4 players back, which I found strange.
Yeah, that's right. I thought they were going to do the same as we done, you know, go and try and get the goal back, but they tended to keep their tallest players back. So, I mean, I don't know why they've done that.
Sure.
Certainly it was good for your point of view that it didn't come up.
Absolutely. Well, Julian Speroni had a fantastic game for Dundee yesterday, ended up on the losing side, and a couple of great saves, Jim Duffy.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, you see he's going down, I think, before the ball struck, and it's got a deflection here. So he's had to react a little bit. You'd expect him to save that, maybe makes that one look a little bit more spectacular. Here he moves his feet well again, gets himself across, pushes it round for a corner. Good strike from Charlie Miller. But you know, again, it's a good height for a goalkeeper, but you know, his position is very good. This to me is a tremendous save, a great header. This one is an early one from the shot down from Craig Easton.
Yeah.
And a good shot from Craig Easton. Again, gets his body behind the ball. I think this is the one from Jim Hamilton. Yeah, great header from Jim Hamilton, tremendous header and a fabulous save. I mean, it looks all the way if it's going into the bottom corner. But tremendous.
Jim, you thought
save.
that was going in, didn't you?
I thought that was in for where I was. It looked a certain goal, but the keeper's made a fabulous save.
Okay, well, it was a rip-roaring spectacle at Tannadice, and Charlie Miller certainly enjoyed it.
We're getting about them, and you have to do that against Dundee because they're a really good team. They've got a lot of quality players, so we worked hard and we got the 3 points out of it.
Did you feel there was a lot of niggle in the game, or just normal derby?
It's a normal derby, yeah, definitely. I thought maybe a draw would have been the fair result. I think Dundee came down okay as well, but you have to take your chances, and fortunately Jim McIntyre got a good header.
Indeed. Well, that was Dundee United's first match under the auspices of the newly installed board, which of course features the return of Jim McLean to the director's box. Well, the new board say their entire 54% holding is up for sale, and one of the men interested in buying it is local businessman Eddie Thompson, and I spoke to him last night.
What I'm doing now is I've entered into a confidential agreement, so therefore I can't go into any sheer detail. What I can say is when I get the information looking for from the new board, then I'll be ready to frame an offer for the 54% shares. I would hope that whatever I'm doing could be concluded by something like end of March. But there may be other parties out there interested, and that could change things there. And if in actual fact these other parties are as passionate for the D United and willing to put in the business acumen and everything else that I would put in, then I would support them as well. But meanwhile, I'm definitely putting an offer in for these shares.